It's turn point 5 in the Red Bull X-Alps, and very shortly we're going to see our first athletes to tag here. Will it be Aaron Duragati? He was in the lead, and clearly as the homeboy he will want to be the first to get down here and sign the board. But also we just heard that Christian Schug is also landed, so it could be a bit of a duel to the finish line. We're looking forward to that. Conditions here, it's not ideal for anyone in the air. We've got this fern, which is something that athletes kind of live in fear of. It means synonymous with strong, ugly winds. It's really challenging conditions for athletes. So anyone who's made it this far in the air has done extremely well and extremely brave as well. So any minute now, well, perhaps 5 minutes, we're going to see the first athletes come from the previous turn point, from those events from last night when a storm ripped through the Dolomites. And now we're here in Siena. To get here, there was a previous turn point. They had to land up on the shoulder on the hill there. That turn point was the Murano 2000, and they had to complete the second of 2 Via Ferratas. This one a little bit easier, Heine Holzer Via Ferrata, which does not pose too many difficulties for these athletes, and we've seen quite a few athletes come through already. So it's all here, it's all happening. And this is where the athletes will run through the turn point, and I think I just saw, oh, there's someone I know. Let's see if we can get Tom Dolo, and we'll have a conversation with him. Just going to hold that there for a second to give a view of the finish line. And this is what you're looking at. It is pretty windy up there. Now, Tom Dolo. Hello.
Hey guys. Hey Tarek.
How are you enjoying being a spectator this year?
Well, actually, I was just saying that earlier. I'm so happy to be on the ground and not to be in the sky at the moment. It's very strong wind. Föhn is here. You know, thunderstorm yesterday.
This Föhn, I'm always hearing like the Föhn, like, you know, athletes always live in fear of a Föhn. What does it mean in kind of layman's terms? Is it just super strong winds? Or?
It's strong wind coming, in this case, coming from the north. And, you know, we have a system. There's a low pressure system bringing a lot of wind. And so it's a bit, it's a bit dangerous. And when you're flying up there, you know, it accelerates. So you have to kind of fly. They're coming from east to west, or they're flying, you know, sideways. And if you look at the live tracking, you'll see that they turn into the thermals and then they get carried away. So it brings a lot of turbulences. It's not clean air. You have to fly in turbulences. It's a bit of a washing machine up there, and you can tell. I'm looking at the live tracking, and I'm like, okay, well. You know, I've been there. I've been flying in these conditions, and when you're there flying, you don't really realize. But you look at the live tracking, like, oh, what are they doing? You know, so yeah.
And speaking of live tracking, what have you seen today? I think who's impressed you?
Amazing moves from, you know, the field really spread. We had pilots all around in many different places. What I've seen today, one decision that I think Kriegel took, he was a bit low. He had to land. He bombed out, and then he ran up. Like in, I don't know, 40 minutes, took off again, and like magic, he caught up with the group again, you know?
That's amazing. Like, I mean, he is so strong on the ground. He's
even stronger in the air. Like, Kriegel can fly in these conditions. This is perfect conditions for Kriegel. He flies extremely fast. It doesn't matter, you know, it doesn't matter too much about the turbulences and stuff, so this is perfect conditions for him.
Perfect for Kriegel, but there's someone else who absolutely hates these kind of conditions, and that's Maxime Pinot. And we kind of it seems like, in fact, my colleague Joanna de Grigoli spoke to his support team earlier, and they said, yeah, it's brought back memories from 2023 where he really, really got scared. And I don't know what will happen now, but I last saw him on live tracking hiking down.
Yeah, you know, Max is one of the best pilots in the world, obviously, but I think he kept maybe a little bit of a trauma from 2 years ago when he flew into Föhn conditions, really strong winds. He hated that, and he's smart, you know, and he wants to he wants to enjoy, and he doesn't want to take too many risks. You know, I think. So yeah, I saw him yesterday, and he was shaken after going through the Via Ferrata. It was very. He didn't like it, thunderstorms all around, and you're on the Via Ferrata, and then he went down in the rain, and you could see he was not enjoying himself. And I think, at the end of the day, you want to be here, or not. And I don't. It looks like he doesn't really want to be there. So I hope he can, put it back together. And wait for better conditions. Maybe not flying today, but Max is a master, So tomorrow maybe brings a good flying day, and then he comes back to the front. That wouldn't. I wouldn't be surprised.
Have you seen what it's looking like for tomorrow? So the next turn point from here is St. Moritz. What's the route like from here onto St. Moritz?
So from here on, it's pretty straightforward. You follow this valley here. Aaron will probably lead the pack. He knows the area really well. So we will see. Hopefully they get good conditions. But I think tomorrow is still a little bit sketchy, maybe a little bit windy. And then it should get better. So yeah, I really hope they get better flying conditions, because it's a little bit on the edge at the moment.
Great stuff, Tom. Well, look, we'll leave you to wander about. Who are you expecting first to come in?
Well, I think I would love Aaron to be here. I was just talking to his mum, and it's his own town, so that would be great to have Aaron here. Yeah.
Oh, that was his mum. I didn't realise that.
I think so.
and he must know this area just so well.
Yeah. I mean, it's home to it. Like I was saying to my friend Jean de Biolay yesterday, man, just follow Aaron or Nico. Those guys, they are home. It's their hometown, and obviously it's very important for Aaron to be here first. It's a statement. It's his hometown. Everyone is waiting for him, so I think it deserves to come first. Yeah.
That was something Aaron said to me. Was if it's going to be really terrible conditions, at least he'd like them in his own place. So. Anyway.
I think from here, Aaron's going to go the other side and then disappear.
What's your prediction on? Let's have a wander. What's your prediction on when they make St. Moritz?
I think tomorrow they'll be in St. Moritz for sure. Yeah, and maybe even this evening.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, this evening is a bit hard, but I think they'll be pretty close already. Yeah,
and they'll be flying in these winds.
Yeah, that doesn't stop them. Yeah, they will be flying in these winds. Like for some athletes, it's even helpful. They can fly in these conditions. They use it to soar on the main ridge, and then they cover distance like that. So if it doesn't rain, maybe they'll be flying late tonight. Yeah.
Okay, Tom. Thank you. I'll let you go now.
You're welcome.
Cheers. Tom Dolo competed in every edition of the Red Bull X-Alps since 2007, and unfortunately had a terrible leg accident last year, which meant he had to pull out of this year's race. So I just saw Tommy Friedrich's support vehicle. I started the day alongside a little campsite just north of Cortina, and in the campsite was Tommy. Well, not the campsite, but at the roadside bivvy, more like. This is an adventure race. I was with Tommy Friedrich, Christian Schug, and Aaron Duragatti. And for much of the day, it has been a story between Aaron Duragatti and Christian Schug battling at the front. Aaron clearly on home turf, looking to get here first, and Christian not giving him an easy ride at all. Christian said to me, his parting words to me this morning were, "A windy day is a good day." So make that a lot of what you will. I can just see quite a few of the teams now. There's Patrick von Kennel's team just turned up. Here's a view now, the crowd's now waiting for the first athletes to arrive. So the other thing about today, of course, today is the staggered start. So not everyone starts together. It meant that this morning where I was, Christian Schug got off first about 5 o'clock, 5:30. Aaron set off about half an hour after him due to the time difference from the prologue. and Tommy Friedrich set off, I think, about an hour after that as well. So it does make a difference, the prologue, setting off that those different times, and of course that's had a huge effect for Seabrand Warren now, who was, when I last checked live tracking about an hour ago, was at the rear of the field. And we have to remember we're only 2 days away from the first mandatory elimination. The Axeman cometh, as we like to say, and the team in last place on Wednesday will be eliminated. In other race news, we have had the race has given a penalty to 6 athletes, and that was for flying in unsafe